This rich chocolate cake is everything you want a decadent chocolatey cake to be. The sponge is a chocolatey feather like cloud that's tender, moist, and melts in your mouth, paired with the most exquisite chocolate ganache with a secret ingredient. So let's begin. You first want to preheat your oven to 160 degrees Celsius or 325 degrees Fahrenheit. We'll begin by separating the eggs first. So I am going to need 3 egg yolks and 3 egg whites in this recipe. I personally prefer using my clean hands to separate the eggs because I find that it's much simpler. And another trick that I would highly recommend is separating the eggs when they are cold because it's so much easier to do that. Otherwise, you run the risk of the yolk breaking. Now, for the third egg, you'll notice that the yolk just starts to break, and you want to be very cautious that you don't add any bit of fat from the yolk into the whites, or the whites will not whip up. You'll also first begin by working on the yolks first, otherwise, they will develop a skin on their surface and it will be very difficult to get that to integrate with the sugars and the rest of the ingredients. So you'll add your caster sugar first to your egg yolks and whisk it really well till it goes light and fluffy like this. Then you will add in your light brown sugar. I love adding light brown sugar to my chocolate cakes because the molasses content in the light brown sugar really helps add so much tenderness and moistness to your chocolate cake. I will then also add some neutral tasting edible vegetable oil into this and give it a good whisk until everything is really well combined. In this recipe, I haven't used melted butter. Instead, I have used vegetable oil that's neutral tasting, and that's because I want the chocolate sponge that we are making now, to be really moist and tender even after it has been refrigerated. This will ensure that the ganache as it sets in the refrigerator is silky smooth in your mouth and melts away, while the sponge continues to stay really soft, which is achieved when we use some vegetable oil instead of butter. Now I've also added some milk, which is full fat milk at room temperature, and I've also added some vanilla extract, and I'm just going to give this a good whisk until everything is really well combined, and then I will start sifting in my dry ingredients. So I will start off with some all-purpose flour, and into this I will add some cocoa powder. Now I will also add my leavening agents, which is my baking powder and baking soda, along with some salt, and I will also add a small amount of instant coffee powder just to help elevate the flavors of the chocolate in this cake. I also like to sift these dry ingredients, especially for the cocoa powder, because cocoa powder tends to get really clumpy and we don't want that. If it doesn't mix really well with the cake batter, then it will affect the texture and you'll get pockets of cocoa powder which haven't mixed and they'll be pretty bitter, so you don't want that. So once you've sifted it all in, you will take your whisk and just mix it until it just comes together. You do not want to overwork the batter at this point or develop the gluten from the all-purpose flour. So you'll just mix it until it is well combined and you don't see any dry bits. Now I'll take my spatula, scrape down the sides and the bottom of the bowl just to make sure that everything is well combined, and I'll keep it on the side while we work on whipping up our egg whites into a beautiful marshmallowy consistency. So here I have the egg whites. They were sitting separate from where we were working on the cake because you do not want fatty bits from the oil or the yolks to mix with the whites or they won't whip up. So you'll start off first by adding a little bit of salt, and then on the lowest speed setting you'll mix it first for about 3 minutes. Then you will increase the speed to medium and you start mixing this for another 3 minutes, and while you're doing that you will also start adding a spoonful of caster sugar a little at a time and wait till it's well incorporated before adding a little bit more, and you will repeat this process until all of the caster sugar has been used up. Around this time now 3 minutes will have passed. So for now you have been whipping your egg whites for 6 minutes. Then you'll crank up the speed to high and then mix it for another 3 minutes, and you should get your egg whites to stiff peaks, which is like this. And now you add a little bit first into your cake batter and use your whisk and just mix it to help incorporate into the cake batter and also loosen up the cake batter. Now you'll start adding a little bit of the egg whites a little at a time and gently fold it in with your spatula. If you feel like it is getting a little bit clumpy, as the egg whites will, you can just take your whisk whisk and just give it a good whisk for about 5 seconds or so, and it should incorporate really well with the cake batter. This is a really light and airy chocolate cake batter, and once you've added all of the egg whites, you are just going to use your whisk, and for about 3 to 4 seconds you will just whisk it really well until it's really well combined and you see a nice light feather light cake batter. You will now pour this cake batter into a well greased 8-inch cake tin with parchment paper lined on the bottom, and then you'll tap it gently against the work surface to release any air pockets. This will go in the oven at 160 degrees Celsius or 325 degrees Fahrenheit for about 55 minutes to an hour. A skewer or a knife inserted in the center should come out clean, and while that's happening, we'll work on a luxurious chocolate ganache. I have used chocolate which has 57% cocoa solids. Into that, I have added room temperature whipping cream which has at least 35% fat content, and here I'm going to add some golden syrup. It is a kind of invert sugar, so you can also replace that with some liquid glucose or some honey if you wish. Adding a small quantity of invert sugar in your ganache significantly improves the texture and the flavor of your chocolate ganache. It turns out extremely smooth and melts in your mouth and gives it a very glossy, shiny look. I have also added some salt here to help balance out the flavors, and then I will pop this in the microwave at 30-second bursts until it is all well melted and combined. You can also do this on a double boiler. Just keep stirring it really well. Do not pop this in the microwave for extended periods of time. Do it in small bursts of 20 to 30 seconds so you don't burn or seize the chocolate. And once the ganache has almost started to come together, you will add some room temperature salted butter. You can also use unsalted butter, that's totally fine. And you'll whisk it really well until the butter is well emulsified into the ganache, and look how glossy and shiny that looks. Now it is pretty warm at this point, so let it sit at room temperature for about 10 to 15 minutes. Then cover it with some cling wrap, making sure that it touches the surface of the ganache to avoid a skin formation. And then you'll pop this in the refrigerator. You don't want it to harden, but you want it to have a nice, smooth, spreadable consistency. So in this goes into the refrigerator until we need it later on. Now, while the ganache cools down and sets a little bit, our cake has cooled down completely. What I did was, after the cake was baked, I let it sit in its tin for about 20-25 minutes, then invert it onto a wire rack to cool completely. Now I'm trimming off the top layer because I don't want the crusty bit of the cake, and I'm going to divide this into 2 equal parts, and I'm using a cake leveler. It's just so much simpler. And now my ganache has cooled and set as well, and look at how glossy that is. That's absolutely perfect. Now I've taken the same 8-inch loose bottom tin that I used to bake the cake. I washed it, and now I'm going to assemble the cake in this. I have placed a round of parchment paper at the bottom, and this will help us release the cake from its base very easily. I'm going to place the first layer of the cake that we've made, and look at this silky glossy ganache, and I'll pipe a swirl or a mound of this ganache that has set beautifully. Just look at how silky smooth and glossy that looks, and I kid you not, this ganache literally dissolves on your tongue. You are going to take an offset spatula and just spread it around really evenly. Now, I like to assemble this particular cake in a cake tin because I want that distinct layer of that thick chocolate ganache after it has set. It's almost like biting into a piece of truffle. And then I will cover it with the second layer of our sponge and just top it with some more of that silky, luxurious, velvety ganache and spread it out evenly. I haven't soaked this sponge in simple syrup because I found that the sponge itself is very tender and moist and does not require a soaking syrup. However, if you wish, you can make a simple syrup and soak the sponges. I did not feel that it was necessary. Once you've done that, you'll let it set in the refrigerator for about an hour, and then you will unmold this cake and just look at that distinct chocolate truffle-like layers sitting in the middle and on the top. I am also going to use my palette knife and gently place it under the cake, and because of the parchment paper that's underneath it, you're easily able to slide the cake off the base and place it on your serving platter. With the leftover ganache, I'm just going to add it to the sides, and then I'll use my offset spatula and then just spread it around so it coats throughout the surface of the sides of the cake. And then I'll pop it back in the refrigerator to set for about half an hour, and I will still have some more ganache left. And with that, I am going to add a beautiful swirl on top of the cake with my Wilton 6B nozzle. This is entirely optional, or you can decorate the cake as you wish. This is entirely up to you. And this beautiful rich chocolate cake is ready. Every single bite of this chocolate cake is so indulgent. I'm going to slice into it so I can show you the distinct layers that we see here. So you really can see the chocolate sponge, and then the chocolate truffle-like layer in the middle, then another layer of the sponge, and then another distinct chocolate truffle-like layer on top. The sponge itself is so pillowy soft, and the chocolate ganache literally feels like you're biting into a thick slice of truffle. It is so absolutely indulgent and decadent, and if you are a chocolate lover, then this cake is going to be right up your alley. Along with this entire playlist of indulgent, decadent chocolate desserts that you see on the screen right now, you are going to love it. Check out this playlist, and I'll see you in the next video.